Budgeting and spending. I think it's a pretty straightforward topic that you really shouldn't spend more than you take in. Or using our federal government as an example, the amount of taxes they collect is much less than the amount they spend every year, and that creates our deficit. And the deficit is added to our national debt on a yearly basis, and that's why we have a $16 trillion debt, because the federal government spends more than it takes in. So, using that as a cautionary tale, I think people should be aware of the amount of money they make and make a budget for themselves. Realize how much you take in, and sit down and take an account of what it is that your monthly expenses are going to be. Your rent, your utilities, the amount of food you eat, the entertainment, all of those things should be part of a person's budget. And the total amount that somebody spends per month should not exceed what they take in. Otherwise, you're going to be deficit spending. You're going to be putting stuff on the credit card. And then you're going to be racking up debt. And debt, if I could just, if I can reach one person out there with one message, it would be to avoid debt. Debt will have a stranglehold on your life, and it will limit the choices that you're able to make in life. It will limit the availability of jobs for you. It will limit where you can live geographically. It will limit your choices that you can make, whether you can get married or start a business or buy a car, buy a house. All of those things are dependent on whether or not you are financially solvent. And therefore, I think it's important for everyone to sit down, make a list of all of their monthly expenses, and compare it with what they take in every month, and come up with a reasonable budget. And do not spend more than you need to spend per month on whatever category it is, be it clothes, food, entertainment. Um, a night at home watching a movie on TV is a lot cheaper than going out to the movies. Um, that is, a very simple way of cutting down costs. If you like to go out drinking, um, going to bar hopping, it's much cheaper to drink at home. Now, I'm not sitting here advocating that people start hitting the bottle. I'm just using it as an example that going bar hopping, which is something that people in their 20s do as a primary form of entertainment, there are cheaper ways of doing it. So, um, so cutting down on expenses is actually very easy to do. You just have to have the will to be able to cut back on the things you like to do. And I'm not saying to live like a pauper, I'm just saying to live within your means. And if your means don't allow you to get a certain toy one month, then wait until you can afford it. Um, Budgeting and spending is really not a difficult concept. It's actually very straightforward, very easy. You just have to know what you make and what you spend, and keep your spending lower than what it is you make. And then you can set aside some money for savings if that's even possible. And to get back to my earlier concerns, which is debt primarily, um, the less debt you have, the more free you are. Debt is like a shackle around your leg, um, especially student loan debt, which can basically indenture you for life to those debts and limit your choices in life. So be smart with your money. Be smart about saving. Be smart about what it is you're spending your money on. And really, as I said, it's very, very simple to do. You just have to have the will to live within your means.